Now that I have saved my configuration, I want to change it. I want to open it in GNS3 again and work on it. I can click on recent files and you can see the topology that I have saved previously. I can click on it and this opens. Of course, I can go to file open and open it again. This is the router one that I had previously. Now I want to add more routers to my topology and add some connections between these routers and then start my topology. So I click on this routers button. I drag some more routers. This is router 2. If you do not see the number, you can change it by right-clicking on the router and change host name. And this is the dialog box that helps you change the router's name. R2 is okay for me. I click on here and drag another router. That's going to be router 3 and another one, router 4. I want to have 4 routers in my topology, so 4 routers are added to my topology. I select 2 of them using a window marquee and drag them to the right. I select these 2 with using a window marquee. I go to device menu. Device menu has a lot of and useful menu items that are applied to one single router or a list of routers that you have selected. So I want to align these routers in a horizontal view. So I align horizontally here. I use these to, again, I can of course right click on these, but I prefer to go to device menu. That's easier because my right click mouse sometimes gets, stuck. So I align vertically these 2. Again, for these 2, I align them vertically, and now I select these 2 and go to align them horizontally. Okay. Now they are aligned here. Now I want to change the configuration of these routers. I select all of them because all of them will have the same configuration. So I go to device menu and click on configure, and you can see these routers are listed here. If I want to configure them uniquely or individually, I can click on the name and go and configure them. But I want to click on the series of 3700 routers here because this contains all routers here, and go and configure them all at once. So I click here. I make sure that I have 2 fast Ethernets. I want to make sure that I have 2 WIC2Ts. So I click on apply, and all of them now have the same configuration. If I want to make sure, I can click on one of these, and you can see that this has the same configuration as the router 1 that I had previously configured. So I click on OK. Now every router has 2 serial interfaces and 2 fast Ethernet interfaces. Now I want to create connection between these routers. So to do this, I go to this top toolbar, and here I have a connection item here. So I want to find it where it is. So if I do not find it, that means it should be in the left menu. Yes, this has changed to left menu, and you can click on this and you can see that the connection object is ready for you. So I go on router 1 and click on router 1. You can see a list of interfaces here. I want to connect fast 00 of router 1 to fast 00 of router 2. So now I have a connection between router 1 and router 2. These have 2 red balls. That means this connection is not getting used right now. So I click on router 1, I click on fast 01. I want to connect fast 01 of router 1 to fast 01 of router 3. I want to do the same on router 2 and router 4, fast 01 of each connected to each other. Now I want to add some serial connections. Now the thing that I want to add is frame relay switch. Now I'm not going to talk about frame relay switch in this early section, but I want to add it to my topology, and frame relay switch is very easy to use because you do not have to configure it using Cisco commands. If you do want to have Cisco commands to configure a frame relay switch, you have to add a router and add some serial interfaces and use connect or frame relay switching commands on that router, but I'm not going to use that because in CCNA level you do not have to configure a frame relay switch. So I drag one of these switches to my topology. I drop it here, I close this. I select this and click on device configure, and I want to add 4 ports here. Now the DLC numbers are not important right now because I want to change them in later lessons, but I can add port 1 with DLC 100, port 2 with DLC 100 again. I click on add. I add DLC 100 to port 3 and port 4 of course again by DLC 100, and I click add. As I told you, I'm not concerned about this configuration right now. I just want to have 4 ports on my frame relay switch. So if I hover my mouse over my frame relay, of course I do not see anything, but if I try to connect these routers, I will have the possibility to do that. I click on router 1, I choose serial 01, click on FR1, I can see 4 ports. I connect router 1 to port 1, router 2 serial 00 to port 2, router 3 serial 00 to port 3, and router 4 serial 00 to port 4. Now I click on this connection object again, and my topology is okay. So I click on this downside part. I hit Control S to save everything. Now I'm presented with this. I click on OK, and you can see that 4 router configuration are saved for me. Okay. I want to now start my routers and work with them. I want to assign IP addresses to these routers and work with them in the next section.